So I just finished watching. Why is my mouth doing this? I just finished watch. I don't know. I'm not able to say the word finished right now. Okay, there, I did it. I just finished watching the presidential debates, if you can call it that. Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And there's so many things about the debate. I mean, there's so many things that Donald Trump said that were just utter lies. He was completely on the defensive and completely just, not defensive, excuse me, offensive. He was constantly like putting Biden on the defensive and putting Biden in a position where it's like he's throwing out all of these lies randomly, and Biden is instead of continuing on the point that he was saying before he was interrupted, he's responding to Donald Trump's like baseless accusations. And this is the thing, I could go through and talk about the things that Trump said that are stupid and that are lies and but I'm sure plenty of people are going to do that. And I just don't feel like doing that right now. Actually, the thing that I want to talk about is, God. The thing that I want to talk about is Biden's approach to dealing with Trump. And I think that Biden allows himself to be put on the defensive by Trump. Like, he keeps falling in these like holes, in these traps where Trump will talk about something random, bring up another issue, compare apples to oranges, whatever the fuck, do things to get Joe off track, especially if he's about to fucking say the truth, like something particularly, something that really highlights Trump as a complete failure as president. Like, Trump will be throwing out all of these random things and random questions, and I just feel like Biden actually needs to do some improv training. I don't know who's prepping him for these debates. I don't know I don't know his prep process, for the debates, but I really feel like if they haven't already, they need to really add in improv. Okay, you have Joe Biden in a private improv class. Like, you need to have an improv class where no matter what happens, you need to stay on topic. No matter who comes in the room, no matter what scenario gets thrown out, you as an improv actor must stay on fucking target and on fucking point in terms of what you want to communicate. That's what I think you should do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Trump is. Trump is like that motherfucker in the improv class, all right, that always has the crazy fucking scenario that makes absolutely no sense, and you're like, okay, yes, and yes, okay, we're gonna take this on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is in improv. Like, people throw out different shit, and you're just like, all right, you go with it, and then you add on to it. So therefore, yes, and so my improv training is like coming back. So I don't even know if I would call it improv training. It's just like, doing improv repeatedly, just like as fun with my fucking artistic friends, or, in spaces, in theatrical spaces, like having those exercises, those warm-up exercises where you're like really putting yourself in this space to like really be able to think on your toes, stay in character, and make everything engaging, right? And to, of course, be an asset to all of the actors that you're working with, because as an actor, you want to work with people. As an actor, you want to work with people who give to you. Like, they're like engaging, they're like taking the scene to the best possible level. You want to work with an actor that encourages you to be better because they're giving their all, So I feel like that's what Joe needs. I'm like, you need to actually, your preparation for these debates needs to really include like improv acting. Like, you need to be in the room with people who are throwing out crazy ideas, because that's who Trump is. It's like, you could have some improv, like fucking, maybe it's like 5 people in the fucking room, black box theater, some Saturday afternoon, right? And people are they're on stage, and let's say the scenario is they're at a coffee shop, right? So all of them are like, okay, we're at a coffee shop, and then somebody is like, okay, like, I'm sitting here breaking up with you, right? Like, we've been together for 2 years and I'm breaking up with you, and that person is like going along there. Somebody else starts to be their waitress and serve them some fucking chai and fucking coffee and shit, and is overhearing their conversation about breaking up. And then like the other person is like, I don't know, maybe like bussing tables and trying to flirt with like some imaginary person that we can't see. And then I feel like Trump would be that person that would be like, and then a buffalo walks in. Like, he's the person who's like, okay, you're gonna give us some shit that's like so out there. And now we have to react to this craziness when we had a perfectly good like scenario going and you just couldn't go along and create something that fit into that. Like, I feel like that is what Trump is. He is that person who's constantly throwing that shit into your face to completely distract you. And Joe needs to have that training where it's like, you cannot get off course. You need to be able to give those quick responses where you can shut him up, shut him down, ask for his mic to be cut, ask for your time to be added to because he's cutting into your time, tell him he's off topic, have your facts together where you can say, that's not true, that's incorrect, that's false, according, you know what I mean? Like, you need to be able to like beat him at his own game, but also make sure that you're doing what you want to do and you're not so busy over there trying to rebut him that you're not on target. You can't spend all of your time rebutting somebody else's argument. They're driving the narrative. You have to be able to say, this is what I want to say, right? If I'm going to be interrupted, I'm going to stop talking. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, until he's done. You know what I'm saying? You need to figure out however you're going to do it. Either you're going to be quiet until he stops talking, which will be never. So that's probably a bad strategy. So you need to be able to give him those quick retorts and stay on track and stay on target and say what you want to say. And, I feel like it's really shitty to have Chris Wallace as a moderator because Trump walked all over him. Trump took more time, talked longer than Biden did, interrupted Biden, didn't answer the questions, talked over Chris Wallace, talked over what are you moderating, sir? Like, what are you doing? How is he talking all up and down all over you? And this is not a debate. This is basically an argument in a fucking kitchen between two fucking grandfathers. Like, that's what the fuck it is. What the fuck are you doing? Like, seriously and truly. I mean, I don't know if Trump is a grandfather, but you know what I mean. Like, these are both like white men in their 70s who are, what is this? And they're supposed to, these are our two options for a leader of this country. One is a sociopath and the other is, I'm voting for Biden and Kamala. Like, come on, like, yes, I am. I'm just saying, like, Joe, I need you to step it up. I think that Joe made a lot of good points. I think that he did say a lot of good things, but some of the points that he made were swallowed within like Trump talking over him. Like, Joe would make these points, but Trump would be talking over him, and you could hear Joe still, but Trump's voice was louder. So that's what I'm talking about. It's like, you need to turn up your mic, you need to turn up the bass in your voice, all right? And you need to be able to figure out how to deal with him. He's a bully. You need to be able to put him in his place and keep going and stay on track. We need to see that strength from the commander-in-chief. We need that, and somebody needs to fact check Trump. How are you going to have a debate with a president that's lying about the facts and like they're just being assumed to be true because nobody is saying that's not true with any kind of authority? If Biden says that's not true, I mean, yes, that's authority, but if you're looking in, you would expect the moderator to be the person to fact check as opposed to the person is debating. Do you know what I mean? It's like the moderator, where is the truth here? If anybody can say like lollipops and fairy dust, anybody can make up anything, then what the fuck is this? This is not a debate. This is Fantasy Island. What the fuck is this? You need to be able to fucking say that's not true. You need to. You need to be able to say that's not true as a moderator. You can't have the president talking over you and you're not even expressing yourself anymore as a moderator. You can't even get your questions and thoughts out as a moderator. Like, there's so many things wrong with this whole construction. Trump ran that entire fucking debate. He took up so much space. He talked over everyone. And where, like, what, this is like how he runs the country. He ran that debate like he runs the country. He just, like, bulldozes over everybody and does whatever the fuck he wants, whether it's illegal or not. There was just a bombshell of Trump only paid $750 in taxes in the year that he was elected president. He's supposedly a billionaire. He paid $750 in taxes in the year 2016 and the year 2017. How the fuck is Trump paying less in federal income taxes than your average working class person and he's supposedly a billionaire? Also, he has $427 million in loans that are going to be due in the next few years. Like, the payment is due back. He applied for and got a $72.9 million fucking refund. In the past 15 years, he hasn't filed taxes for he hasn't paid any federal taxes for 10 of those years. You know what? How was that not a point that could have been made? How did Biden not have a talking point just perfectly sculpted for this debate? I mean, he brought it up, but I'm like, you should have brought it up again. You should have figured out how to interweave that into what the fuck you talking about. Biden did all right, I guess, but I mean, that wasn't a debate. I've never seen a debate like that in my life. I have never in my life seen a debate between two fucking politicians where one person was allowed to basically bully the moderator and the person they were debating, and there was no consequence for that, and they were allowed to speak whenever about whatever, not answer questions. Trump doesn't answer the question that you pose. Trump says what the fuck he wants to say, and it's very rare that anybody checks him on that. Reporters, moderators, people just allow him to say what he wants to say without being like, that wasn't the question. That's not what I asked you. The only person that I've seen, really say some, interview Trump the way he needs to be interviewed, where he was fact-checked and, there was, actual journalistic integrity, where they didn't allow him to say some bullshit without checking him in the moment. The only person I've seen do that is this Australian journalist whose name I cannot remember. This amazing interview he did where it was finally somebody taking Trump to task with facts and with the incredulity, appropriate for Trump's lies. He really embodied how confusing it is to listen to Trump just lie. He did an amazing job. I don't know, that's it. Biden, yeah, get some improv acting, prep in you. Get some of that going. Please work with improv actors. Work with people who throw shit at you, throw all kinds of random things at you, and you need to keep on topic and on task and on message. That's what you need to do. And, get closer to the mic. Make sure that we can really hear you. Bro, seriously. Because Biden is kind of soft-spoken and it's nice. But for a debate, yeah, we're going to need something else. Because you being soft-spoken next to somebody who's speaking over you, those two don't mix. Okay? Now oil and wasabi, that's, gonna mix. So those are my thoughts, child. Woo. I'm gonna go relax. I made pizza this morning, so I'm gonna go get into that and relax and watch a film with Idris Elba, because I find him soothing. I'm gonna watch Idris Elba. I'm watching something of his on Netflix. Yeah, I need to relax. I need some. Yes, I need some like a really nice Idris Elba film to like get lost in. God bless. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And keep your vibration high, high, high. Love you. Ooh, 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 ooh. And always, always heed the call of your beautiful soul. Peace. I'm taking it back to the 90s. Bye.